Hey guys, we are going to make a funky holiday tree today. What makes it funky as opposed to a regular tree? Well, you're about to find out. This is part one, and we're going to do some designs and patterns on our tree. Part two is going to involve doing some cool coloring with some interesting patterns and shades and hues, and it's going to look really great. So let's take a look at what we're going to do. Get your piece of paper, and we're going to hold it vertically. That means straight up and down. And we're going to go ahead and start to draw our tree. But before we do, I want to put a little bit of a border on the edge. Sometimes if you frame your work or put a border on it, it makes it look a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and take my marker. I'm using a chisel tip Sharpie today, but if you have just a regular Sharpie, you can use that. Or if you're not allowed to use Sharpie, or if you don't have one, Crayola marker is going to be fine too. So some black marker. But we do want to have black outlines, so please try and find a black to do your outlining with. And I'm just making a simple frame. I'm using it without a ruler. If my lines come out kind of wavy or not perfectly straight, that's going to be fine. It's just going to add to the charm of our picture. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave my frame like that for now. I might add a little bit more to it later. But I want to start on my tree. Now, around this time of year, people start putting decorations and lights on trees. So we're going to do something very similar with our drawing. I want you to start off near the top. So we've got, think about 3 sections of our paper. We've got a section here, a section here, and a section here. A top and a middle and a bottom. So around the top, close to the top, I'd like you to give me a triangle. And my triangle, it's not perfectly going straight up and down, but I think that's fine. I think we're going to be okay with that. And maybe a little frame on the inside of my triangle too, just for a little design. Since I have some space at the top, I'll go ahead and I'll add a star. Now this is not the way I usually do stars, but I kind of like it. It looks a little hand-drawn. I think things that look hand-done look really nice. All right, so I got my top triangle. That's going to be the top of my tree. The next part of my tree is going to be part of a triangle, but part of my triangle is going to get cut off. So we're really just going to see the bottom half of the triangle. So I'm going to start about a ½ inch or an inch away from the corner of my point here, and I'm going to come down and out, maybe curve it a little bit. Same thing here, about a little thumb width or thumbnail away from the edge. I'm going to come around and do this again with a little curve. And I'll close the bottom with a curve. Curve that bottom, close it. Oops, I didn't really do that very well, did I? That's gonna be part of my design. How's that? And then maybe frame it again. A little bit of a frame. And then last but not least, the very bottom part. See how this would have been a triangle if it kept going? I'm gonna do the same thing here. Go a little bit in from the corner and then curve my tree. Same thing here. Curve my tree. I'm going to bring it all the way around. And mine's, it's definitely longer on this side than this side, but I think that's kind of cool. I like that. So I'll add my frame to the inside of my tree. And you don't have to do this part if you don't want to. I just think I'm setting it up to add lots of detail to it. So let's go ahead and we'll add a little trunk. Maybe on the inside of my trunk, I'll go ahead and I'll add some more pattern. A pattern is something that repeats itself, right? So we're just adding some pattern. So it's looking pretty good now. I think I'm gonna add a few more things to it. We need more patterns, right? So maybe I might do a little heart on the inside and then just go around to create more lines here. This is just filling up some space. Maybe this one will be zigzag. I'll do a pattern in here that's zigzag. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Just repeat that pattern. I love patterns in work. I think it makes things look a little bit extra special, a little bit more detailed. And then last but not least, let's do some swirls. You can do whatever patterns you want to. I'm just gonna do these because I think they're neat. But if you have another pattern you'd like to try that pattern. Do your own thing. Fill in some spaces with some circles. Just fill up that space. All right, we got a really nice looking tree. Now let's go ahead and do something with the background, more patterns. What can we do? How about, well, we can fill out the frame. This will be my checkerboard pattern, maybe? We'll see what color this will look like. Do something for the frame to give it a little, I'm gonna turn my paper. You need to turn your paper to make it work for you. Definitely do that. All right, a good, decent looking pattern there. Now, what can I do for the background? How about I put some hearts or maybe some stars in the corners? Go upside down here. Upside down heart. Ah, that's so hard to do. And I'll add a little bit more of a pattern or a border to edge my paper off. The more I put on here, the more interesting it's gonna look. So keep on adding stuff. Don't make it too close together because we are eventually going to color this in. And when we color it in, we want some space to color. We don't want to have to color too much tiny, tiny stuff. So let me see, last but not least, maybe I'll do a little pattern in here. Oh, I like this. I like how it's coming out. Can you do something inside your border? You could do polka dots, you could do dashes. I'm doing this curvy wave of a line. I like it. Starting to come together. Finally, how about snow in the background? Why not? I'll make some either snowflakes or circles. I think some circles would look pretty good for me. Some little ones, some big ones. Change up the size of these. Very simplified snowflakes, right? You wouldn't really see a snowflake that looked like that, but. All right. So have fun with this. Fill in the pattern. If you want to go even further and make something inside of each one of here, these little boxes, you can do that too. Have fun with it, fill it up. Next time I see you, we're gonna add some colors and we're gonna make this really pop. Keep on working on it if you're not done. If you are, put it in a safe place and save it till next time. Don't fold it, keep it nice and flat, stick it in a folder or stick it in a book, somewhere where you're gonna find it next time I see you. Until then, happy drawing.